Hi guys, it's Brindley Tucker, and I am so excited about tonight's topic. I always say that, like every week, but I really am excited, and here's why. I never really know what I'm going to talk about. And I usually realize like 2 or 3 days before, and I start praying and saying, okay, how can I best deliver a message this week that will at least touch one life? Because if I change one person's life, then it was worth taking the time out to share my experience. So tonight's topic came to me a couple days ago, and then I was also talking to a friend, and we realized that it was a Mercury retrograde right now, which means that everything's going a little bit wonky, and we're probably developing more resentments than we normally would. And so it was like, okay, this kind of feels right. Let's talk about it. So, a lot of people, and those of you that know me, know that when I came in to my place of recovery 8 years ago and deciding that I wanted to make a change, I had a lot of resentment. It's why I drank, right? I drank not because I liked alcohol. I didn't like, waking up on Saturday mornings and not knowing what I did the night before or being embarrassed. And I didn't enjoy that. I drank so that I wouldn't have to feel. I drank because I had resentment and I was in a very strong victim mentality of where everything that people did was to me instead of for me, or where I am today, where life happens and things happen for me and everything has a lesson behind it. It may not feel good. It may not be what our egos want, yet there's always a lesson. There's always a reason for things happening. So I always say that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. A very wise woman, I wish I could take credit for that, said that once. So remember, the only person that resentment affects is you. You're the one that it will blacken your heart. It will drain your energy. It will take you away from the important things that matter in life. Have you ever had those days where somebody does something that really ticks you off and it gets under your skin and you go into a little bit of self-righteous and I need to show the world? That's when resentment starts to build, and it takes time away. It takes time away from our families, our friends, our work, everything else. And it all becomes focused and concentrated on this one thing, when in reality, it's teaching us something. So if we're able to look at it from a different perspective and say, show me the lesson in this, the resentment will slowly start to dissipate. Now, when I decided to make a life change, my mother was a huge part of my resentments. I had a lot of resentment towards my mother, the way that I was raised, all these things that I thought it was all her fault, was the reason I turned out the way I did. And she did this and she did that. And that's what caused me to drink. And someone looked at me one day and they said, when are you going to stop looking at everything your mother didn't do for you and start looking at all the things that she did do for you? Because most of the time we can find the good. We're just so focused on the bad that we can't see the good. And that one focusing question shifted my entire mindset around my mom, which shifted our entire relationship. And now, if you know me, my mother actually lives in a 1-bedroom apartment above my garage. Yes, we cannot live in the same household. That would just be, no, it would be tumultuous for both of us. We did that for 18 years and it didn't work out very well. And we would never be able to have the relationship that we have had I not started focusing on the things that she did for me and stop focusing on the things that make her human. Everyone is human. Everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have. So instead of focusing on those things, focus on the good in them. Focus on the things that they have done well. Focus on the happy times. And then ask yourself again, what's the lesson here? What is God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, what are they trying to teach me? What are they showing me? Do I need to behave differently? Do I need to control my reactions? Do I need to manage my emotions? Do I need to make sure that next time I put certain things in place so that these situations don't happen again? Because at the end of the day, the only person that you're responsible for is you. And the only person that's suffering during that resentment is you. The other person doesn't even know you have a resentment half the time. They're living their life fancy free, going along their way, having a great time, and you're sitting over here in resentment. And it's taken time away from everything in your life. So first and foremost, focus on the good. Ask yourself, what did they do for me instead of what did they not do for me? Or find a focusing question that takes you out of the resentment and takes you on to the other side. Number 2, this may sound crazy. I don't know why it works. I can't explain it. Yet every single time I have done it, it has worked. And that's the 21-day prayer. Now, I say prayer, and I don't say it in the terms of that you have to pray to a certain religious entity. I mean, your version of God. It could be the doorknob. It could be a group of people. It could be Mother Nature. And it could be Allah. It could be God. Whatever that is for you, say this prayer for 21 days. 21 days. Now, most of the time, the resentment will change prior to that date, but there's something magical about the number 21. And you don't have to pray this grandiose, I hope they win the lottery and they do all these amazing things. You're going to pray a very simple prayer. I pray for John that he would have everything that I would want for myself: peace, love, happiness, and wealth. I pray for John that he would have everything I would want for myself: peace, love, happiness, and wealth. What's also happening during that, if you see, is that you're not just praying for John to have those things, you're praying for yourself to have those things too. So if you have a little hard time praying for John, remember there's a hidden little thing in there that also benefits you. So again, I pray for John. I pray that he would have all the things that I wish for myself: peace, love, happiness, and wealth. That's number 2. Number 3 comes from a dear friend of mine, Ben Kinney. And he said this a few years ago. He said, forgiveness is the sweetest revenge. Forgiveness is the sweetest revenge. Forgiving those that have harmed us, forgiving those, and forgetting sometimes, but forgiveness. And how do we forgive? We forgive by simply saying into the world that I forgive. There's an exercise called that my coach has worked with me and a few people have done. And that's an exercise where you close your eyes and you imagine the person that you want to forgive in front of you, and your toes are matching their toes. And you lean down to them and you simply say, please forgive me as I have forgiven you. And there's a cord. Imagine a cord going from your belly button to their belly button. So your toes are matched. They're on a stage. You're with them. You lean over. You say, please forgive me as I forgive you. And then you look above and you look for a bright white light in the form of a sword that comes down and releases and cuts the cord with that individual. And you watch them walk off the side of the stage. Now, it might sound a little hooky, guys, but it works. It works. Trust me. If you want more information on that, that's called, I believe, the Pono exercise. And Dr. Matt James at NLP.com, can give you some more information on that. Guys, there's tons of ways to get rid of resentment. The 3 that I would recommend starting with is, number 1, focus on the good. Focus on the positive from the situation. Find the lesson. Number 2, pray. Pray for that individual for 21 days. Just a simple prayer, wishing for love, happiness, wealth. And then number 3, forgive. Forgive them. Forgive them for sometimes they don't know what they do, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. They're reacting on their emotions, on their resentment. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please share. The more that we can get the message out there. And if not, that's okay too. We'll still see you next Monday. I'm still looking for topics. So if you have something you want me to speak about, I won't tell anyone it was your request, but let me talk to you about it. So anyway, we'll see you guys. Have a great week, and don't let resentment hold you back anymore. Talk to you soon. Bye.